In the grand scheme of things, we always mistake balance for equality. Usually when people say it's hard to achieve work-life balance, what they actually refer to is equality. So the goal is to have a balance, not equality. But over time, we are used to, in our head, we are striving for equality, not balance. Now let me explain. Equality simply means giving when you're talking about your life and work and all, equality simply means giving the right amount of time to everything you do. I need to do 2 hours, 1 hour, 8 hours to sleep, 2 hours to eat, 3 hours to trying to make everything the exact same time. I need to sleep for 8 hours. I need to spend 8 hours with my kids. If you are thinking like this, you burn out. Then there's balance. Balance is more or less like equity. Balance is ability to make the best of the time you have in every aspect of your life. Usually when people think, oh, work-life balance, they are thinking in terms of equality. Let's do it this way. Say you sleep for like 6-7 hours a day. You go to work for like another 8 hours, so that's almost half of the day gone. So obviously you have to tend to your kids, you have your own planning, you need to rest. Then you always say, oh, there's no balance, you are just struggling to do things. You are basically surviving. But ideally you are struggling with that because in your mind you are thinking about equality, not balance. Now balance is ability to make the best of what you have. You must sleep 6 to 8 hours every day, whether you like it or not. If you don't do this consistently, even though you don't sleep, you don't have this amount of sleep for like a stretch of like 2, 3, 4 days, after a while it will tell on you. So sometimes you can do like block of work for like few days and take some days to rest. That is the whole mentality. You slept for 8 hours, you've gone to work for 8 hours, that's 3/4 of the days gone. Now you have to juggle a lot of things. The whole essence is that you try to make the best of what you have. Say you go to work 8 to, say you sleep 10, 11, wake up by 6, tend to the kids. If you don't have kids, prepare, you go to work, come back, work from 8 to 4 or 9 to 5. You spend another 1 hour trying to get home 6. Now if you are someone that is staying alone, you use that time to try as much as possible to relax, catch up with friends. Even though it's 20 minutes or 10 minutes, at least you are taking action. Same thing with your kids. Even though it's 1 hour of quality time you can spend with your kids every day, it is striving for balance, because that is the best that you can do. Same way with someone who maybe have to travel for work, work for about 2 weeks, 3 weeks straight away from home. That kind of person will say, oh, I don't have a work-life balance. But you need to work, you need to do your job, you need to earn money, and that's the fact. But you see, even after working this 3 weeks or 1 week straight, when you come back home, you try to make the best of the time you have with your kids. Say you only work Monday to Friday let's say you are working in different states. You go 1 week to work and only spend Friday, Saturday or Sunday with your family. Yes, you are spending less time, but you have to try as much as possible to make the time count. Same with me. There are days where I'm busy with work and I don't have to spend a lot of time with my family, brother, siblings, sister, and all. But for every time I get, even though it's 1 hour I get to spend with them, I try as much as possible to maximize it and make it count. And that's the whole essence of work-life balance. Anybody who doesn't have a work-life balance will go mental. And that's truth, because you are trying to juggle too many things at once. No, the idea is accepting your reality, understand the state where you are, and merge it with your reality. That is the whole essence of the balance. But your brain is thinking of equality. Don't think of equality. Don't think of giving everything the same time slot. The same time slot. Now, if you think that way, you get a lot of things wrong. The whole idea is just to be able to create a balance, make it the best of what you have. Same way with school, those that have responsibility in school, like those that have administrative duty, even apart from going to school. It's about creating balance, understanding the time you have to do administrative duty, you do it to your best, and the little time you have, you try as much as possible to maximize it. See, you always think you have time, but it is until you put time to a lot of things, that's when you discover how fast you can go. Say somebody needs to build a project. If you have 3 years to build a house, most time, often than not, you tend to stretch it. But if they cut the time, you look for ways to get it done. Same way with football. A lot of people think, okay, say a team is leading for the first 80 minutes, a team scored 3 goals at different points in time. It took them 80 minutes or 60 minutes to score 3 goals, but the opponent can score 3 goals in 10 minutes because it's the urgency. So the whole essence of balance is accepting your reality and making the best of every time you've got. You need to work, yes, but after the work is done, even if it's 2 hours you have to spend with your kids or your husband, make the best of it. That is what work-life balance is. It's about accepting the reality of your condition, of where you are, and making the best out of it. So I hope this video will help us to not always think in terms of work-life equality, and more of work-life balance. It's the same thing with our society. We should strive for equity than equality, knowing that give everything the proportion it deserves, not just blocking everything in theoretically. So let's create a balanced mindset of making the best of everything we have, and that is all the whole essence of life. Let's make the best out of it. Thank you.